if I say, Mama say, Mama sama makusa, Mama say, Mama sama makusa.
I would say it says, I'm going to say it one more time, I'm not going to stop. However, when I listen to it, I hear Mama say, Mama sama makusa. I don't care what nobody says. I hear that.
We're about to review Michael.
Yes.
And in the movie, on a little index card, you see Mama say, Mama sama makusa.
I listen to it very carefully because I said, I want to see if they're saying, I'm going to say it one more time. I'm not. Even if you say it
That
fast,
makes sense too, but
yeah, it makes sense, but that's not what I hear.
Mama sama makusa.
I agree. I've listened to it.
I love a good woo. I don't care who's doing it. Michael, Bobby Brown, whoever.
You like a good woo. Let's talk about Michael 2026 at theaters. PG-13, 2 hours and 7 minutes, which honestly, I could have used a lot more, but I'll let Miss Jules tell you who's starring, and then we'll talk about it.
So guess what it's about? Like, do we really need to do? Okay. The early life of the famous musician Michael Jackson, known as the King of Pop. It goes
That's pretty much it.
from his early life as a child to 1988. Mm-hmm. And I did hear that they already greenlit a part two.
I could see that. So let's talk about who's starring in it.
All right. So it stars Jafar Jackson, as you guys probably know by now. It's his actual real life nephew. He's Jermaine's son. Mm-hmm. He plays Michael. Nia Long. Coleman Domingo.
He is such a character actor. That guy cracks me up.
Yeah, I love him.
Yes.
Lorenz Tate. And Giuliano Valdi plays young Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. And they both, him and Jafar, do an excellent job.
Yes. There were times in the movie, first of all, Jafar, phenomenal. The only other movie, it was the miniseries about the Jacksons that I watched before that I liked.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be the number one now at this point. So Jafar sings, and you could he sounds like his uncle. Even the little boy was sounding like him. But there's some of it is Jafar's vocals, some of them were Michael's vocals. And although he did a spectacular job in every way, I can still tell when it's MJ and when it's not, because no matter what anybody on this planet ever does, you cannot duplicate MJ. But damn it, he did a good job.
They blended the voices together.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did a great job. I mean, every way, acting, his mannerisms, his dancing. Yeah. That guy put in a whole lot to be in this movie. And there were some parts where, they show an angle. I'm like, he looked like his daddy. My goodness, he looked like his daddy in that part.
Okay, so there was a couple of angles that they shot. I said, he looks just like Michael. He looks just like his uncle.
Some of them he does. And then sometimes I've seen Jermaine like, oh, you look like, but they all look alike anyways.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, just the vocal, the tone, the mannerisms and everything.
He said he studied 3 years, and they asked him like, what was the hardest thing? And he said the spin. The spin was the hardest thing to get right.
Because you can't duplicate it, Jay.
Yeah.
It's just, but man, did they pick the right person?
He had it.
Yes, they picked the whole right cast. Coleman Domingo was the person to do this. Something about his voice, like I watched him in Fear the Walking Dead. I think was when I was first introduced to him, though he'd been acting for a long time before then. But since then, I've seen him in other stuff, and he is such a character actor, and he's so freaking good at it. Like when it comes to showmanship, he's got that factor.
Right.
And he is very versatile, so I really like him. And Nia Long, just as a soft-hearted, kind-hearted Catherine. Wasn't she good?
She played the mom to a T, Catherine Jackson.
Yes, she did. Like everybody in this cast just did so good, and I was happy. Like I was in the theater, so I went on an off day. I didn't make it opening weekend, so I went on an off day. Yeah. But there were still people in there, but I'm like, okay, I don't like talking in theaters. I don't like when people talk, but you know what? I'm about to let's just do it, y'all. Let everybody do it. Let's just do it, because
I was dancing in my seat. I was singing low though. I was singing low.
Yes.
Not, I was at the top in the corner, and I wasn't just like. And I got my woos in, but I woo instead of woo, to the fullest.
Yeah, and I was like, they did my favorite song. He did almost the whole
Thriller
song.
In the seat.
Like you doing it. Everybody was
doing it in my seat. I looked down though, nobody else. I'm like, how can you sit still? This little boy in front of me though just kept jumping up and down, and he was in front to my left, but he could not sit still. Now, could he dance like Michael? No, but he was jumping up and down and
I wasn't gonna say nothing that day because I was singing, especially when Human Nature came on, because that's my favorite song of all time. I'm like, he did almost the whole song in the movie, and the whole time I'm just reaching out. Oh, I was like, yeah, I don't care if anybody else sings. I don't even care right now. Do it. Let's all do it.
You know what they're going to do next. I don't know this for a fact, but since they did this with like Demon Hunters, I bet you they're going to have a sing-along / dance-along.
Majestic will.
Theater,
Majestic does that. Yeah, because they've done that for Grease and a bunch of other stuff. And they had giveaways. I don't know if they're still giveaway, but that's what happened. Yeah. We go to these sing-alongs. We get T-shirts and all kind of stuff. So when they did it for Grease, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I don't love musicals that much. However, now that Michael is out, do a sing-along because I want to go. I'll be there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they do like a sing-along / dance-along or something like that.
Great, yes.
Like, why not? Because I hear people are dancing in theaters. Nobody danced in mine. And personally, I don't want you to dance during the movie.
Yeah,
and I
in your seat, but not getting up. No.
I did see it that first weekend, so I don't want to be distracted by your dancing. But mostly what I hear is people are dancing like before the movie starts and after the movie is
That would be cute. I would look at that.
I'm cool with that.
Maybe like right there in the lobby.
Yeah, while the credits are going and the music's still playing.
Yeah, I would like that.
Somebody wants to dance in the aisle or something.
Do it.
Go for it, but
Make
not during the movie.
Yeah.
Like during that first weekend when I saw it, I'd have been like, hey.
Oh, you got to sit down now. Sit down for a minute.
Come on.
But I love this. So we got a lot of information for this movie because this movie took a whole lot of money and a lot of time and a whole lot of dedication. So.
All right.
Right.
So this is the feature film debut for Jafar Jackson, Michael Jackson's nephew. Michael died a month before Jafar's 13th birthday. Jafar said he was humbled and honored to be cast after a 2-year casting process.
Wow.
He also added that when he rehearsed for dance scenes, his feet would either bleed or go numb. Ooh,
wow.
I didn't know that.
Talk about the work that goes in. I don't even know if I'd be able to breathe after trying to do one of Michael Jackson's dance routines at this point. Like, that's some serious dedication. You know how bad it feels when you wear heels for too long after a few hours when you're out somewhere, you want to take them off. Yeah. This guy is dancing with bleeding feet. Like,
I mean, it sounds like ballet. Plus, he does do that move on his toes.
Yeah, like the point. Yeah. Like if you ever met somebody who's a professional dancer and you see their feet, they're not pretty feet. But they show the wear of their work. Yes, they sacrifice that for their art, and it's a beautiful thing. But wow, Jafar, wow, okay.
Michael Jackson suffered from vitiligo, a skin condition that causes a loss of pigment, and discoid lupus. The movie touches on his health challenges, but the extent of his chronic insomnia and skin issues that led him to wear heavy makeup was often understated.
Yeah. I can't believe people still don't know that information about MJ. That's all he bleached the skin. No, he didn't.
Yeah, some people, it's like a thing. Like,
yeah.
Do I believe that he had?
Come on.
Yes, or do I believe that he bleached his skin and slept in an oxygen tank?
And if you talk to a dermatologist, they will tell you that skin bleaching is not the process that people think it is. Not even. I've talked to more than one dermatologist. People think they just rub on some cream and it just start getting light. That's not even how it happens, and that's not the gist of it. So talk to your dermatologist before you just believe that somebody can go bleach their whole body, because it really doesn't make sense. But anywho, MJ had vitiligo.
Plus, look at oh my gosh,
Winnie Harlow.
No, okay, Winnie Harlow, and there's also a baseball player that ended up bleaching his skin, and he does not look natural at all.
Is it
Sammy Sosa? Thank you, Sammy Sosa.
I don't know what he. That's bizarre. And they use a lot of makeup and stuff. Like people with vitiligo, and I've known people, and I got relatives and stuff with vitiligo. Depending on where it's at and how. They have to if they want to wear makeup, they have to decide on which one. Do they want to go with the darker makeup or the lighter one? And they usually choose whichever one fits the pattern. You know what I mean? So if most of their face is white, then they're gonna, do the rest of their skin like that. So that's what the matter was with MJ. And then remember, he got burned at the Pepsi commercial on his head, so he had other stuff going on top of that. Like, he went through a lot health wise, and people just criticize him without even understanding or knowing what was really going on. He went through a lot behind the scenes. Yeah.
The recreation of Michael Jackson Thriller 1983 was filmed on Union Pacific Ave in Los Angeles, California, the same street where Michael Jackson performed his iconic dance in 1983.
All right.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Same place.
Nostalgia.
The song Michael Jackson hums to himself as he walks up the stairs towards his bedroom is Smile by Charles Chaplin, his favorite song of all time. He later recorded this song for his History album. Jermaine Jackson performed it at Michael's memorial service in 2009.
I didn't know that.
I knew it because I like that song too.
Oh.
And I even like when Barbra Streisand sings it. Yes, I like Barbra Streisand.
She can sing. Come on, she's a national treasure. Of course.
Okay. A Toys R Us store was rebuilt for the film. Michael Jackson was known for going on a massive shopping sprees there. The chain declared bankruptcy in September 2017 and shut down in June 2018.
He was a big kid.
Yeah.
And I thought they were reopening. There was rumors that they were trying to reopen again.
From what I understand, they reopened online.
Oh, and that's it. Yeah, they were saying that because of all the massive stores, Walmart and Target and all those online stores have pretty much taken over.
And you get the same stuff because Toys R Us was high.
And then you don't have to worry about it being out of stock typically. When you order stuff online, it's usually just ready to go. So, yeah, they were high. Yeah. They were.
Yeah. To recreate the release of Off the Wall, the exterior of the Tower Records was restored to resemble the store as it looked during the album's original release.
Wow, they did a lot behind the scenes.
They did.
Cinematography.
There's no extra scenes, but of course, they're playing music as we mentioned. So
still sit there and jam too.
Sit there and jam. You can sit there and jam. The tomato meter, the critics are harsh. They gave it 39%. I think that's because a lot of people, I know Janet didn't really want to be involved in it. I get that. And the thing I didn't like was, I get that she didn't want to be involved. I don't know if Rebe wanted to be involved or not. And I think they did show Randy. I'm not positive. But when they were young, and you just see the 5 young men, and their dads taking them out to, and you see LaToya.
Yeah, the one time I remember saying, "Get out here, LaToya," something like that. I'm like, "Oh, that was LaToya." Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, Catherine could have been like, "Yeah, the kids are in their room doing homework," or I put them to bed or something, because we all know that they got more siblings.
Just to recognize that there were other siblings there.
I don't like when they do like a biography type movie and we're supposed to pretend like, oh, we don't know about Janet and Rebe. I mean, some of these young people really don't know about Rebe, but and Randy, like Randy did come in later, so I can't count him. But Janet and Rebe, like, come on.
Well, it was a little over 2 hours, and honestly, when it was over, I was like, dang.
Yeah, and then people are upset because they left out stuff, and I know that Paris is upset. She's just not happy with it. She said she tried to give them some notes. They didn't take the notes, so she's like, well, F me then. I don't want to have a part of it. And she, no disrespect, but this part was like from childhood to 1988, and I know it's her dad.
She didn't exist then.
But she didn't exist
so,
then.
Yeah, like the chunk of the movie, he wasn't at that point in his life. So
I'm sure that they told her stories. I'm sure that the family, her dad told her stuff, but you can only fit so much in a 2-hour movie.
Yes, and I mean, come on, we don't need to see a 3-hour movie. If that's the case, you turn it into a mini-series. But Antoine Fuqua directed. I didn't realize he directed. Yeah. But I think he did a good job.
He did.
All the way around. And man, that's talk about wanting some more when you leave a theater. Like, I was fulfilled, but I could have sat there another hour and just watched some more and dance. And,
also, from what I understand, he didn't get bubbles that early. Little things like that. I kind of don't like when they move timelines up and stuff. You don't have to. With a story like this, with somebody who had so much going on in his life, we do know he had Bubbles, but if Bubbles wasn't in his life at that time, you didn't have to throw him in at that time. You could wait till the second movie because we had a good idea that this was going to go big. And if it didn't, well, we'd be like, well,
and Bubbles
was so cute. At 88 and he didn't get Bubbles till I don't know which year. But
I've heard that Bubbles is in a sanctuary right now.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah.
He's like 41 years old or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I want an ape or a monkey. They're just so darn cute. I need to hurry up and hit the Powerball so I can get a sanctuary and get me a Caesar.
I was surprised myself that they didn't even mention how he wanted to act. I get that they didn't show any kind of clips of him as the Scarecrow or something. But you could have threw in a mention when he's talking to the lawyers or something I want to get into acting and I want to do my own music and he could have just threw in that line.
Yeah, because when he was talking to the gangbangers, he was talking about, I want you guys to be in my movie. In which we know his videos were like mini movies because he wanted to be an actor. And what's funny is that he wanted to be Willy Wonka, right? And he was, making the soundtrack for it and all that. And then they decided they weren't going to cast him, so he pulled the soundtrack back. So it was like, hey, okay, I'm not in it, then I'm not going to be. But that would have been kind of cool to see. But he did have a love for acting. But my goodness, thank God he, sang and danced his heart out, because imagine a world without Michael Jackson music.
I feel like it would have been dope if they showed him when he was rehearsing for like the Scarecrow and stuff like that.
For the Wiz.
Because if you really watch him, like you could see how much effort he put into that, like with the wobbling legs.
Oh, he was good. Wasn't he?
Like, yeah, he couldn't hardly walk and stuff, and the ankles. You got to look at his ankles too, the way he's wobbling. I'm like, God dang! Skills. If you really watch the skills. I'm like, man, and that was his first real acting experience. Other than, I think they might have did the voices for the cartoon that they had. They had a cartoon.
Oh, that's right, the Jackson 5 cartoon. I have a nightgown with the Jackson 5 on it.
Some kind of flash or something with
something.
When the Jackson 5s were getting big, because they showed them starting with the Jackson 5s, they could have did how they have like flashes, like newspaper clips, and they could have flashed newspaper clips and
headlines.
The Jackson 5 cartoon, and
well, I'm sure it was a time factor. It was already over 2 hours, and most of us know his story. I was just interested to see how they were going to present it. To see who can really imitate, not duplicate, but imitate MJ. And right now it's Jafar.
And I wasn't trying to get deep into it. It was just enjoyable. As I think it was Spike Lee said, it's just a celebration of his life.
Thank you.
You can't go, I think it was either Spike Lee or Questlove. They were like, I think it was Questlove said that he went in there and he had his notepad and he was ready to write notes like that didn't happen then or this happened then. And I like
Dude, just enjoy the movie.
He took out his notes and just enjoyed it. And he
Thank you. Just enjoy the movie. God, good grief, they're not going to have his whole life in this whole thing. It's not going to happen. And frankly, I didn't care to see any of the negative stuff. I just wanted to enjoy the movie. I know about the negative stuff, most of which I do not believe.
That didn't happen till later, so I don't know how they're going to do the second one.
And you know what? It wouldn't even bother me if they don't do a second one. I'm aware of all that stuff, like I said, and I think he was done so wrong by this world in so many ways, so many times. So I don't need a reminder of that. I liked just celebrating music and it's come up and seeing how he grew up. And boy, let me say, Joe Jackson was a mother effer. That man was a piece of work.
He was, but if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have.
Might not have that discipline that they had. I'm happy. I'm not happy what he did to them, but I'm happy that they became the musicians and artists. That became Michael Jackson.
Some people complained about that. You didn't show, how mean Joe was.
Well, yeah, they did show how mean he was, beating one of the kids. Yeah, they did show how mean he was.
Yeah, and they showed how Michael wouldn't even give him eye contact because he's like.
They showed it. I don't know, people want some vicious stuff. I don't know why.
I don't know why
they showed it. The dude was a mother effer.
They showed it. We know it.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, the tomato meter.
39%.
39%. That's disrespectful.
Yes, it is.
The popcorn meter is giving it 97%.
There we go. There we go. This is why we say go see something. Don't read these, the famous critics online and be like, "Oh, I ain't going." Go see it. I'm absolutely telling you to go see it in the theater where it's on a big screen. You can hear the music popping. I love this. It's probably the movie that I enjoyed the most this month thus far.
How many clappers are you giving it?
I'm giving it 4 strong clappers for this movie. And I absolutely tell you, you could take the whole family to go see this. Your kids should know who Michael Jackson is. If they ain't, shame on you. Introduce them to Michael Jackson. Let them even watch the miniseries, which was good. But yeah, this movie absolutely recommended. And you would not be mad if you spent full price for this at all. What did you say, Jules?
I agree with you. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 clappers as well.
Yes.
A strong 4.
Yes. So there you have it. Go to the theaters, see Michael Jackson while it's popping right now. It's really big in theaters right now. Don't forget, you can catch Jules and I on Cash App. Any donations are appreciated. You could also find us on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram and on TikTok. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow, comment, and we will see you at the next review. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.